And we say good morning to you. We are broadcasting live again. We are on the trail. Brian Presley's not with us. He will be in just a second, but it's the Tom Taylor Sports Show. Good morning to you. Yes, it's snowing. Yes, the roads are, yeah, the main roads we came through, of course, are okay, but understand the back roads are as you would expect, and the mountainous roads are in not very good shape. The crews are working diligently to make it as passable and as feasible as possible. But right now, if you don't have to go out, I would suggest you don't. Some snow flurries here outside, and of course, we're about 15, 16 degrees. But take heart, it's supposed to warm up starting tomorrow. We're talking 50s and 60s by the weekend. So we're certainly in the 50s, 40s, and 50s starting tomorrow. So the warm up begins looking into next week. We're talking 40s and 50s. So it's all good. And so we're here live again at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City, again on this Wednesday, January the 17th, 2018, our 668th show. And our countdown is on the Daytona 500, 31 days from today. They'll drop the green flag and get with it. Kurt Busch defending his crown as the champion of the Daytona 500 a year ago. And our countdown with the Food City 500, 88 days from today for this race right here, with Jimmy Johnson back in town to defend his crown. And so we'll talk about that and how you can get your tickets two different places, obviously at Bristol Motor Speedway and also at Food City. We'll be at Food City in Gray, by the way, on Friday for the big $5 sale. They got a big sale coming up on Friday at all Food Cities, and we'll tell you all about that coming up a little bit later on in the show. Of course, I guess we can tell you right now, it is for Friday, it is the Food City $5 Friday, and it's going to be huge. We'll tell you all about that coming up here in just a little while. We always start our show, we dedicate it to the man who hung on the cross. We unashamedly do that. This shows this is the Lord's show. It's going to go as far as he wants it to go. It continues to grow. We're at show number 668. And so here is the verse for the day to get it started. Out of the book of Psalms, Psalms 139, 14 through 18 says, "You are my wonderful work. Don't ever forget that." There you go. You are my wonderful work. Don't ever forget that. You were not hidden from me, for I created you. I have ordained all your days. They were written in my book before the beginning of time. My thoughts are precious to you. They are more than all the grains of sand. Psalms 139, 14 through 18. And again, you look and see, you were not hidden from me in your mother's womb, for I created you. I have ordained all your days. They were written in my book before the beginning of time. What does that mean? That means on January the 17th, 2018, he knew that I'd be sitting here at Chick-Fil-A talking to you on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, show number 668. It's cold outside, the snow's flying, it's about 15 degrees, and he knew all that before I was ever born. Before the beginning of time, I have ordained all your days. They were written in my book before the beginning of time. My thoughts are precious to you. They are more than all the grains of sand. And then it says, the beginning of the verse, you are my wonderful work. Don't ever forget that. Woo-hoo. That's powerful right there. That's powerful. By the way, watched Manny Griffith last night. Oh, me oh my. Laugh. Watch The Education of Ernest T. Bass. That is classic. Howard Morris, late Howard Morris. You watch the show and there's all four of the actors and actresses are gone. Helen and Andy and Barney and Ernest T. Bass. Classic stuff. Opie, of course, still alive. He's 62, 63 years old. Ron Howard. But anyway, funny stuff last night. And just belly laughed. And the little people got them turned on to Andy Griffith, too. It's pretty cool stuff. And so, The Education of Ernest T. Bass. Mr. Kelsey's Pond. Oh, hilarious stuff. So anyway, I don't know how that came up, but we're here live again at Chick-fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. Coming up, we're going to be checking in with Ryan Presnell, the head baseball coach of the Elizabethton Cyclones. Got a big dinner auction coming up on Saturday at the school. We're going to tell you all about that. It's a benefit. In fact, I've got some of the items that are up for grabs. I got some of the list of some of the items. You can stop by and bid on, and you say, well, I have no ties whatsoever to Elizabethton baseball. That's okay. If you want to win some cool packages, some really cool things are given away. It's a fundraiser for the baseball team. Then you want to stop by there and bid both silent and live auction items on Saturday evening. Also, Kevin Mast Gaming. This is something I'm kind of getting introduced to. And so there's a big gaming convention, gaming competition coming to East Tennessee State very soon. And Kevin Mass, brand new guest, going to stop by and tell us about that. Greg Salyer at the top of the hour talking Major League Baseball. Lots going on in the bigs right now. Again, we're inside of 30 days for the pitchers and catchers to report for spring training, which tells us spring is right around the corner. Yay! So I'm all about it. I told you, if you watched the show a year ago, when it got down to, 17 below on the wind chill that one morning a couple of years back, in February, I said I will never, ever complain about the heat again, and I won't. Today's another one of those days. I'm not going to complain about when it gets 95 degrees and the humidity's 422%, and you walk outside and start sweating coming up in the summer. Man, going to complain. I'll take that any day over this outside. But, again, here's the beauty of where we live. It's never too hot, too cold for too long, and so it's going to start moderating tomorrow. I was reading this morning, there's I can't pronounce it, but there's a city in Russia where the typical day is 40 below. And they go to school, they got central heat, they got backup generators, life just goes on. What got down to minus 88 degrees Fahrenheit there last night, and they finally called all schools. It's a city, can't pronounce it, but it's a city about 3,300 miles away from Moscow, up in the middle of nowhere apparently. And so these folks, 88 degrees below zero, minus 88. They said, we probably need to call off school today. So what we're going through ain't a big deal, but it is, I guess, around here. But as Chick-Fil-A is open, and you can see 1, 2, 3, 4 cars coming through drive-through. We're here at the crossings in North Johnson City here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show on show number 668. We'll take a break. Our first segment coming up. We're going to add a new segment. We got a lot of folks watching back from where I'm from in West Virginia, so we're going to start every day. It's not going to be long, but a couple of minutes every day we're going to devote to West Virginia sports. And so we're going to do that starting today. But coming up next, we're going to take a look at college basketball. We've got some teams playing tonight. Had some big games last night. Some teams got upset. And so we'll run down the top 25 college basketball, let you know when the Buccaneers of East Tennessee State play again. And also the Lady Bucks play tonight. Tell you about that. Tennessee plays tonight against an old coach that used to coach at Tennessee. We'll tell you about that as well. So all that straight ahead. Break number one coming at you. College basketball coming up next. We're live again at Chick-Fil-A, the crossings in North Johnson City on show number 668 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show. At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import and Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. Blue Lizard Australian sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400, your one-and-done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-Fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-Fil-A. Chick-Fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
We're back live again at the Tom Douglas Sports Show. Thanks for being with us. Today, look, college basketball last night had two big upsets. A couple of teams didn't play well, but two got beat. Namely, closer to us here regionally, the Kentucky Wildcats. Not a good night last night for John Calipari and the Wildcats, going into Columbia, South Carolina, and losing 76-68, lost by 8. Kentucky now 14-4. Carolina, big win for them. They improved to 12-6 on the season. Oklahoma goes down. Fourth-ranked Sooners lose at Kansas State by 18. Kansas State, now a 13-5 ball club, beat them 87-69 last night. 18-point win over the fourth-ranked Oklahoma Sooners, who now fall to 14-3. Other top 25 games last night: North Carolina, the defending national champions, 15th-ranked Tar Heels. Again, Tar Heels win by 8, 87-79 over 20th-ranked Clemson. North Carolina now goes to 15-4. Clemson falls, 20th-ranked falls to 15-3. Other top 25 college basketball: 12th-ranked Cincinnati, the Bearcats win by 11 at Central Florida, 49-38. Low-scoring affair for a Division I college basketball team. And then third-ranked Purdue, 78-50 the final. Purdue wins by 28 over Wisconsin. Purdue goes to 18-2 on the season. Wisconsin becomes a 9-10 basketball team. So again, Oklahoma losing, Kansas State got them, and South Carolina beats Kentucky on the road in Columbia, South Carolina. Today, here's who's playing where: Villanova, Georgetown, Wichita State hosting SMU. Auburn goes to Alabama. These are all ranked teams. Texas Tech, the Red Raiders play at Texas. Xavier, and they're going to be taking on the St. John's. It used to be Redmen, no longer are they the Redmen, but it'll be Xavier and St. John's. Seton Hall, the Pirates, take on the Creighton Blue Jays, both ranked in top 25 play. Iowa State, will be at TCU. The Horned Frogs are ranked. 17th ranked Arizona plays at Cal. It will be Tennessee and Missouri tonight at Missouri, and we'll talk about that coming up here in just a few minutes. And Arizona State at Stanford. All that involving top 25 college teams on this Wednesday, again, January the 17th, 2018. Speaking of Tennessee, they're 21st ranked in the country. The Volunteers will be on the road at Missouri tonight in Columbia. They are 12-4. 3-2 in the Southeastern Conference. Hello to Darius Hensley. Hello to Kim Witherspoon. Hello to Renee McNeil. Hello to Jerry McNeil. Say it proud, Tom. God is good. You better believe it. He's good. God is good all the time, and all the time, God is good. Preach it, preach it, preach it. Anyway, Quanzo Martin, the head coach of Missouri Tigers, coaching against his former team. Martin, in his first season at Missouri, coached at Tennessee from 2011 to 2014. He went 63-41 with one NCAA regional semifinal berth, and so he will host, again, Missouri at 12-5 and 2-2. Not a bad start for the first-year coach. Again, Missouri just 8-24 a year ago. So Quanzo Martin in his first season has already turned it around from an 8-24 team last year with then coach Kim Anderson, who got kicked to the curb, obviously. And so we go from an 8-24 team in Missouri to a 12-5 team right now, and 2-2 in the Southeastern Conference. So anyway, it's going to be a ball game. Tip-off tonight will be happening in Missouri. And so the Tennessee Volunteers, what time is that game tonight? The Vols will take on the Missouri Tigers. Tip-off tonight at 9 o'clock on the Southeastern Conference Network. So good luck to Rick Barnes and the Tennessee Volunteers, playing some pretty good basketball right now. Also, a little closer to home, the Lady Bucks of East Tennessee State on the road tonight. They'll be in Greenville, South Carolina to take on Furman, and a 7 o'clock game. Lady Bucks riding a 4-game winning streak. They're 10-8, and they're 3-0 in the Southern Conference. Furman's Lady Paladins at 11-7 and 2-2 in the conference. Again, that will be a tip-off time at 7 o'clock tonight. The Lady Bucks and the Lady Paladins in Greenville, South Carolina for Lady Buck basketball. The guys tomorrow night play at Furman as well, and that'll be in Greenville, South Carolina tomorrow night as well. So that's what's going on in college basketball again here on this snowy and cold and wintry Wednesday, I guess what you want to call it. Again, as we're live here at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. So you got to think spring, and so let's talk about one of the salads here. You want to lose weight and get looking for more healthy. A lot of folks' New Year's resolutions to eat better, and so how about the Cobb? The COBB salad, the Cobb salad. Chick-fil-A nuggets, pressure cooked, sliced and served hot on a fresh bed of chopped romaine lettuce and baby greens, topped with shredded red cabbage and carrots, roasted corn kernels, a blend of shredded Monterey Jack and cheddar cheeses, crumbled bacon, diced eggs and grape tomatoes made fresh daily. The Cobb, C-O-B-B, the Cobb salad is served with charred tomato crispy red bell peppers and avocado lime ranch dressing. And so the calories, if you're watching those, only 500 calories in this particular salad. It is the Cobb salad, available here, of course, at Chick-fil-A. You say, 'tis the season. A lot of folks with their New Year's resolutions is to eat better. And so one of those ways is to have a salad, and not a better place to get a salad than at Chick-fil-A here at the Crossings in North Johnson City. Or the grilled market salad, which has only 330 calories, sliced grilled chicken breast served on a fresh bed of chopped romaine lettuce and baby greens, and topped with shredded red cabbage and carrots, crumbled blue cheese, and a mix of red and green apples, strawberries, and blueberries. It's also served with harvest nut granola, roasted nut blend, and zesty apple cider vinaigrette salad dressing. 330 calories for the grilled market salad from Chick-fil-A here at the Crossings in North Johnson City. It is as we told you, a Wednesday. Tomorrow we're going to be live at Champion Chevrolet. Friday, a Food City Friday. We're going to be at Food City in Gray for the big $5 Friday at Food City. It's going to be a lot of fun, and so looking forward to being out there and hanging out with our buddy Dale Hammett. Del Vira is, I think, his new nickname, and so we'll be there hanging out on Friday with the kids at Food City. On Monday, can't wait for any of the shows, but really can't wait for Monday. We're going to be live. We're going to take the show to the Billy Graham Training Center at the Cove in Black Mountain, North Carolina. We're going to hitch up and ride with Darius Hensley. We're going to go over there and broadcast live. I don't know if anybody's ever done this or not. We're going to do it. We're going to get a chance to talk to Eric Wilkes from the Cove, Will Graham, the grandson of Billy Graham, who will be in town for a Celebration Crusade Revival, April the 27th, 28th, and 29th at Freedom Hall here in Johnson City. We'll get a chance to talk to him and Eric Wilkes. Jim Kirkland from The Light, 106.9, the radio station there on the grounds of the Billy Graham Training Center at the Cove in Black Mountain, North Carolina. You need to go to the website and check it out, thecove.org. If you've never been, you need to check it out. It is incredible. Went over there back in December. Darius took me over there and got a chance to meet all the folks, and I'm telling you, if that place don't get you fired up, your wood's wet. I mean, you talking about, you pull up on the grounds and go up to the chapel there where Ruth Graham kind of designed the chapel. And there's a prayer garden right outside the chapel. I mean, it is so serene, so quiet, so reflective, and so really, really cool place. And I'm looking forward with much anticipation. Been at this a long time. This is for me, one of the highlights of my, whatever you call it, broadcasting career, I guess what you'd want to call it. I mean, I'm really looking forward to being over there on Monday, the 22nd, broadcasting live from the Billy Graham Training Center at the Cove in Black Mountain, North Carolina. I hope this will be the beginning of a semi-regular stops over there, going over there a couple of times a year to broadcast. And again, thanks to Darius Hensley for setting all this up and connecting me with the folks. And so anyway, going to be there on Monday, and so we got a full slate next week as well. We just keep on keeping on taking the show all over the place, and so Monday, we'll be going to Black Mountain, North Carolina, broadcasting live back from the Billy Graham Training Center at the Cove. Again, check out the website, thecove.org. All kinds of special guests and musical talent, seminars, all kinds of things going through the Cove year-round. There are seminars and lecture series, I guess, for lack of a better term, workshops for pastors, for widows, widowers, single folks. I mean, it runs the gamut. Of course, they have hotels on property, and I'm going to let them tell you more about it on Monday. We're going to be there, looking forward to it. College basketball against East Tennessee State tomorrow night at Furman for the Buccaneers of not John Calipari, but Coach Barnes. Coach Calipari and the Wildcats lose last night. The Thundering Herd plays tomorrow night. We are Marshall. The Thundering Herd plays in Huntington against Middle Tennessee State University tomorrow night. And also the Hokies of Virginia Tech, their next ball game coming up this Saturday at home, a 12 o'clock tip at Castle Coliseum in Blacksburg. And their opponent on Saturday will be the Seminoles of Florida State. We'll take a quick break. Kevin's in the house. He's ready. ETSU Con 2018. Have no clue what this is all about, but we're fixing to learn. I'm getting ready to expand my horizons talking about gaming. And so Kevin's going to tell us all about this coming up next year. We're live at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. Show number 668 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue. Do you like pulled pork? At Phil's, the pulled pork is cooked low and slow. We cook it all night, but we serve it fast. Our pulled pork is hickory smoked, tender and juicy. We serve the pork either as a sandwich on a bun or platter style with garlic toast. And don't forget to try our pork wings. They taste like a cross between ham and our sweet ribs. It comes as a meal, as an add-on, or part of our meat sampler platters. Pulled pork and pork wings. Just two great reasons to stop by Phil's Dream Pit. Eastern Star exit off I-26, 349-6437. Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400. Your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-Fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-Fil-A. Chick-Fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
Back live with the Tom Dooley Sports Show. I'm not Kevin Mast. We're about to get him on the screen right here. Let's see what he looks like, because he is a Chick-Fil-A employee. He's over on his break, and let's turn this right here and make sure you don't knock the tea over, Tom. This great sweet tea. Good morning, sir. How are you?
Good morning.
Good.
I'm doing great.
Yep. Thank you for being part of the show. And of course, he saw me doing the show here every week, and he said, "I'd like to come talk about this event." I said, "What event you talking about?" He said, "A gaming. Is it a convention? Is that what it is?"
It's a convention it's a multi-genre convention, mainly pop culture, anime, gaming, and digital media.
So I have no clue what it is means. I'm going to learn as you learn. Of course, you may already know what he's talking about. Hello to Chris Barber. Appreciate you watching the show. Thank you, my friend. Hello to Rick Ranson in Nashville. I also want to say hello to Teresa Winton. Hello, Miss Teresa. Hope you're having a great day, among other folks. And we're here live at Chick-Fil-A The Crossings in North Johnson City. So by definition, Kevin Mast, what for folks out there who have no clue, what is gaming? What's it all about?
Well, gaming, video games, to, I guess, make it more clear. We have voice actors that voice the characters in the games come out to these conventions and do autographs, do panels, tell them like how they got there, what they do, why they do it, I guess. And one of our best past guests we've had is the voice of Mario. Of course, everybody knows who Mario is. His
Voice
name,
of Mario. I even know that one.
Charles Martinet. He's
Okay.
He came out. Another past guest is Jennifer Hale. She isn't as much of a household name, but she did Commander Shepard, the female voice actor for Commander Shepard from Mass Effect, the Mass Effect series. She also is the voice of Samus Aran from Metroid Prime. That's an older game. Maybe more people will understand that one. She's also she got voted as the most prolific female voice actor. I think it was last year. So
let's go back to let's take Mario. Let's take the Mario guy.
All right.
He comes to this convention,
Right.
signs autographs. He's the voice on the game that you meet. So he signs autographs. Now, does he actually play the game, or?
Well, he's just the voice actor. I mean,
Okay.
I'm assuming he's played the game
Sure.
for sure, yeah. But no, he's not famous for playing the game. He is famous for
his
voice acting.
voice? Gotcha.
Right.
And so he's making a personal appearance, signing autographs, and getting pictures,
Panels,
and
answer
get
questions.
a picture with this guy because he's a celeb. Okay, gotcha.
Right.
All right. So
These are all celebrities in this community, really.
Oh,
So
okay.
at conventions, it's just a big community of gamers, people who watch Japanese culture, like animes and stuff like that.
So in a comparative state, and this is a kind of a crazy comparison, but NASCAR would be like Dale Jr. coming to town, or basketball, LeBron James coming.
Exactly.
And this guy plays for the Cavaliers, sign autographs. All right. So some of the celebs come to voice the games. Now, is there going to be a competition? It's going to be, by the way, February the 17th. Is that correct?
Well, the whole convention's over February 17th and 18th.
18th, okay.
On the 17th, we have a League of Legends and Halo tournament, along with a Super Smash Bros. Tournament. And then Sunday is Overwatch and Hearthstone, which, if you need more information on those, I would suggest just going to the Etsucon Facebook page and asking questions there, because that's a little bit more specific, harder to explain for specific games. It would take a long time to explain those specific games, but
Talking to Kevin Masters on the screen. So typically, I'm going to make an assumption here. Most gamers, you may blow me out of the water on this, but I'm going to assume most gamers are millennials, younger folks. Correct?
yeah, for, competitive gamers for the most part. There's some professionals that are probably over 30, but for the most part, it's 25 under.
Yeah.
Because as you get older, your reflexes slow down. But
Yes.
it's
they
the
do.
same thing for basketball and baseball and all
Sure.
that. Yeah.
All right. So you have a gaming competition, I guess. So it's like round robin. I play you, and I get beat. I go play him. And how does that work?
How it works for the Super Smash Bros. Tournament, there will be pools. So kind of like in the World Cup, how they have groups. They'll play in those groups, and then the top two out of those groups will go on to the bracket, the final bracket.
Sure. Okay. So
and
there's a process of elimination. Okay.
the same as the League of Legends tournament will be a double elimination bracket. There won't be groups, but there will be just a full bracket of, I think the cap was 8 teams, so it'll be 8 teams just going head to head in a double elimination bracket.
Coming up, we got some information. We got sports stories on college football. the National Basketball Association, NBA, the National Hockey League. Got some college football, as we told you. Got some baseball at the top of the hour. Greg's going to come by, Greg Salyer, with our Major League Baseball update. We're talking to Kevin Mast, ETSU Con 2018, February the 17th and 18th. Again, I'm flying blind here. That's cool because I like to learn things, expand my horizons. So if I played you in a competition, do you play to points? Is it a time limit? How do we determine a winner if I was playing you?
Depends on what game. In League of Legends, you're fighting against each other as a team. It's a 5v5 team, and you're going to destroy each other's base, basically. In Super Smash Brothers, you're fighting one-on-one, and you're trying to take the person off the stage 4 different times. There's four lives, basically.
Okay.
You can time out in that game, but it's very rare. It doesn't happen a lot. And Hearthstone and Halo, Halo will be a team thing, I think, 4v4. Hearthstone is a 1v1 card game, actually. It's an online card game. So if you've ever heard of Magic the Gathering, or Yu-Gi-Oh, or even Pokemon, those are all pretty much the same thing, just different characters, cards. Overwatch 6v6, you're fighting to do basically a King of the Hill type of thing in Overwatch.
We're talking hello to Coach Kelly Essler. Really appreciate this young lady. They went up, real quick side note, went to Emory and Henry, it was last weekend. Milligan set, I think, 10 records. They won, did a phenomenal job, the Milligan swim team. We had her on the show here last Wednesday, as a matter of fact. And
congratulations.
Yeah, Milligan swim coach Kelly Essler watching the show. Thank you, Kelly. She's a sweetheart, and she's a jewel, and she can coach. And Milligan's got him a dandy swim coach over there. I can tell you that. She's totally rebuilding and took that program from a dormant stage, and it's got a little swagger when the Milligan swim team comes into the pool area. Everybody goes, uh-oh, the Buffalo's there because of this young lady here and the job she's doing. So at the end of the rainbow, if you will, can I win money? Do I win trophies? What's out there for me to win?
You can win both. Right now, I think we are working on getting medals, so there'll be a first, second, third place medal, along with cash prizes for the Smash tournament and League tournament. Although for Halo and Hearthstone, I'm not sure. I believe there'll also be cash prizes. Basically, you pay to enter the tournament, and that money that you pay goes into the prize pot.
Sure.
And so, basically, at the end, like first, second, and third, it'll be 60% of the pay-in, 40% or 30%, and then 10% for each respective placement.
It is February the 17th and 18th. We're going to have him back on a little bit later on, closer to the show again, but it's the ETSU Con, as you see on the screen, 2018. This will be at East Tennessee State, right? In the
Yes,
Culp
sir.
Center?
In the Culp Center.
Yeah, in Culp Center. So if I want more information, is there a website? How can I find out more about this?
You can find us on ETSU's website. You can just go to etsu.edu and search ETSUCon, or go to Google, search ETSUCon. Even on Facebook, we have a lot of information going on Facebook right now. If you're a student, you get it for free. And also all emergency responders, EMT, paramedics, policemen, firefighters, all get in for free.
Awesome.
Alumni
Nice touch.
and high school students and teachers get discounts. If you are not any of those, it is $25 if you pre-register, and then $35 at the door
Nice
for the
touch.
weekend.
Nice touch, letting all the firefighters, those folks, get in free. Last question. If I wanted to start, because I have no clue what the man's talking about, but he said, I want to promote the product. I said, absolutely. Let's use this show as a vehicle to do that. If you wanted to get me started in gaming, what would be a basic game 101 you'd turn me on to for someone who has no clue what I'm doing? He says, this is a stretch. He says, oh, I don't know.
I would say a console game. PC's much more serious. So like Call of Duty, Overwatch on console. It's just it's very much more of a casual environment there, whereas PC can get a little bit more serious. You'll have people yelling,
yeah, hollering, screaming. It's intense. I got you.
Yeah.
So it's all to the level that you want to get involved in, right?
Yeah.
You can be on the peripheral, and you can get right down the middle of it. And
You see, I'm not good at games,
Right.
so I host the tournaments. I host the events.
Sure.
Because
more than one way to skin a cat, right? There you go. He's not going to be in the tournament, but he's going to promote and host the tournament, which is what he's doing. Again, one more time, February 17th and 18th at East Tennessee State. And the website to go to find out more is?
etsu.edu or Facebook.
Yep.
Yep.
etsu.edu.
Yep.
There
And
you
just
go.
search up ETSUCon.
ETSUCon, which is right there on the screen.
Yep.
ETSU. ETSUCON.
Yep.
There you go.
All right.
Good job.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. I'm learning. I can't say I know much about it, but I'm willing to learn, expand my horizons. That's what life's all about. Quick break. We'll be right back. Thank you, Kevin Mass, stopping by and talking about ETSUCon 2018 coming up February the 17th and 18th at East Tennessee State. We'll take a break. We'll come right back, and we are going to talk about, what are we going to talk about? Got a little NASCAR news. We've got some NFL news, and we've got some news about East Tennessee State Buccaneer football 2018. All that next year as we are live. Again, we'll also talk to Ryan Presnell, the Elizabeth, the baseball coach, next as well as we're live at Chick-Fil-A on show number 668 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
At American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, one of the 8 areas of your vehicle that takes constant continuing education is the air conditioner on your vehicle.
Well, you would think that AC would be a simple one, but it's getting to be a lot bigger than just AC. It's the management of the system, not just AC, but heat and everything. It's a lot more computer controlled than it used to be. It used to be just a little button on the dash that you pushed. Now there's all kinds of electronics involved in that. Braking systems used to be fairly simple. Now some of the newer vehicles, you have to have a computer to actually operate the braking system to make sure that it's okay after you've worked on it. Computer controlled of the engine is becoming very important. There's a lot to that. Each one of these areas, the technology is just tripled and quadrupled in the last few years. It's hard to keep up. You really need to stay in the books and know what's going on with them.
American Import and Auto Repair, Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111. Blue Lizard Australian Sunscreen originated in Australia, where sunscreen standards are the strictest in the world. Although our products are now manufactured here in the U.S., we continue to adhere to the most stringent Australian standards to offer the best in broad-spectrum sun protection. Blue Lizard, the brand most recommended by pediatricians and dermatologists. Our smart bottle turns blue in the presence of UV rays, reminding you to cover up. You bring the sun, Blue Lizard brings the magic.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400, your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-Fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-Fil-A. Chick-Fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
Hey, we're back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We are live here at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. Let's go to the phone. I love hanging out with this guy. This guy's a warrior. He's a champion, and he's a good baseball coach, too. Ryan Presnell, the head coach of the Elizabethan Cyclones. Good morning, my good friend. How are you?
I'm doing fine, just trying to stay warm. getting ready for a baseball season.
Yep.
So hopefully it's going to get it out and get done with all this nasty weather, and we'll be out of snow days by the time February practice rolls around.
You got it. 40s starting, upper 30s tomorrow, 40s on Friday. We're talking 50s all the way through next week. So it's going to be great weather to get out and get working, get limbered up, get those boys working and throwing and running and conditioning. So we're all excited about that. We're going to be carrying Elizabethton baseball here, and I'm very, very excited about this. Let me tell you, this guy right here is a go-getter. His staff's a go-getter. His kids are class. I'm looking forward to wearing the orange and black for the second season of doing Elizabethton baseball. But coming up Saturday, a big event at the high school. This is a fundraiser for the Elizabethton baseball team, and it's an auction and a dinner, and it's going to be cool, and I can't wait to be there. And you sent me some of the items, and goodness gracious, Coach, you got some great stuff. A night at the Carnegie Hotel, a Chuck E. Cheese basket for little people. You've got some ETSU fan gear basket, a Milligan fan gear basket, a Valentine's basket, which is pretty cool, with some jewelry donated by the Jewelers Bench in Elizabethton. So you really got some neat stuff you're going to be giving away Saturday night. Tell me more about it.
Well, we sent you just 15 baskets. We're going to have over 100 baskets by the time it's all said and done, and those baskets include 4, 5, 6, 7 items per basket. I mean, it's just it's an incredible auction. When we started this thing 3 years ago, we were looking to get maybe 20 to 30 items, a couple of bigger items for live auction, and it's just taken off, and it's gotten to the point where we put so many people in that room that businesses want to donate, because it's really if you don't donate, you're left out in the cold, and it's a really good advertising. And if you go to our Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter, we're putting items up all week and letting folks know what's going to be there. But I won't get 25% of our items up on social media this week, just because there's so much of it. It's a live and a silent auction. Royston Auctions comes in and we have a live auctioneer, so it's just an awesome environment. Folks bidding left and right. You get a bidder card when you come in the door, so it's not anything that's thrown together. It's 12 months of work and very professional setting and some really good items, and inherently somebody walks out of there with just awesome deals, so, which I hate. I don't want them to get good deals, but inherently there's several of the items that go for very cheap. Last year, and we're actually going to have this item again this year, there's a safari to South Africa, all-inclusive, 6 nights, 7-day stay at, you'll be living in one of those, I forget what they call the tent, but it's a very nice tent. It's up off of it's 5-star accommodations with all your meals, all your drinks included. Last year, we actually sold 2 of those, and they went for $900 a piece. So just unbelievable deals. You couldn't go stay in a hotel in Johnson City for that price for 7 nights. So just an awesome auction with a lot of big items, a lot of small items too. So really there's everything we had some items last year go for $10. So anywhere from $10, and last year we sold Masters tickets for about $2,000. So
Wow.
There's everything for every budget in there, Tom.
Yeah, and the cool thing about this is you don't have to necessarily be tied into Elizabethton baseball. If you're just looking for a bargain and a great deal, you want to stop by. It's going to be at the cafeteria there at Elizabethton High School in the Commons area. So obviously the focal point will be for Elizabethton baseball. But my point is, you don't have to be associated at all with the school. You just want to come in here and bid on some great items, and folks do that, don't they?
Absolutely. We have folks coming from all the way from Knoxville and Asheville to come over and bid, because we do such a good job advertising and getting it out there. And at the end of the day, you won't find many people who work in athletics, as it is a profession like it is for me. I wouldn't care to go to Unicoi if they had an auction and buy some stuff, just because we care about kids so much. And at the end of the day, that's where a lot of this comes from, is people want to support the kids. And we have a great town here where we have tons of support. The cool thing is, for $5, you can come in, sit down, eat dinner from Jay's Corner and Chick-Fil-A of Elizabeth, and just watch the auction. I mean, it's well worth $5. You can't go to McDonald's for $5 anymore. We're going to have way better food than what you would get for $5 at McDonald's. So we're just super excited about it. We love seeing a cross-section of folks that come in, and I guarantee you we'll put on a good show for them.
Can't wait to be there. It's going to be on Saturday evening. It starts at what time now?
6 o'clock, the silent auction and dinner begins, so you can actually get there a little early. We'll probably open the doors around 5:45. So 6 o'clock live auction starts, silent auction and dinner start at 6 o'clock, and then at 7 o'clock we kick off the live auction, which will probably go 20, maybe 30 minutes. And then at the end of that auction, we start closing down the silent auction in intervals to give people a chance to go back and bid before they leave for the evening.
There you go. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's coming up on Saturday evening. Can't wait to be there. We're going to talk to you again on Friday and get one more little push for the big event coming up on Saturday. And we're very excited to, as you have said on Monday's show, we're going to be doing 13 ball games in the tournament, at least 13, and hopefully the tournament as well for Elizabethton baseball. We're going to be doing some basketball next week. We're going to be doing Elizabethton Sullivan East on Tuesday night and Elizabethton and Happy Valley on Friday night of next week at the John Treadway Gym. And then we're going to be doing the basketball tournament. It's going to be at Elizabethton this year, the district tournament. And we're going to roll right into baseball. So we're very excited about wearing the orange and black of Elizabethton. And it's all because of you. You called me up and said you want to do some of our games, and it's kind of snowballed from there, and I appreciate you very much. And your class, Elizabethton High School's class, the folks of their class, and it's, it's an honor for me to put the headsets on and call Elizabethton Sports. It's pretty cool, and I'm looking forward to doing that. And I'm looking forward to being with you on Saturday night, hanging out with you. And I'm going to try and bid on, I don't know, there's a 2-foot metal cyclone. There's a 3-foot metal baseball cyclone, which is Tuffy with a bat. There's some tools, a drill, shop vac, impact wrenches. There's some activities as bowling and arcade games at Silver Ball City. Several cyclone fan gear baskets. So, as you said, there's something for everybody on Saturday evening, and I'm going to be there, and I'm looking forward to hanging out with you. And what do you want to leave us with here this morning, my friend?
Hey, we're proud of our kids over here and proud of what they do, and we appreciate everybody's support. And again, even if you're from Science Hill, we take a credit card and we'll take your money just to support our kids. That's fine. I got a lot of friends from over there, so they really probably got a pretty good chuckle at that. But yeah, it's an awesome event, and we're looking forward to the season and getting on the field with a lot of teams. And I think you saw last season when we ended the championship over there, it was us and South gathered up around the mound having a prayer before the game. We care about kids, and there's really great athletics. And if you're out there listening, it doesn't matter if you come watch us or whoever. Just go watch these kids. Go support them. Pay $5, sit down, have a hot dog, and enjoy yourself.
You got it. Hey, I'll see you. Talk to you Friday. I'll see you Saturday. Go Cyclones.
Cyclone Pride, brother.
You got it. My buddy Ryan Preswell, love that guy. Again, the head coach of the Elizabethton Cyclones. Cyclone Pride. I tell you, it's cool. And it's serious in Elizabeth. It's serious in all the schools, obviously. Everybody takes a lot of pride in the program, but I like that guy. And, of course, Sean Whitten. I'd run through fire for Sean Whitten and Lucas Honeycutt and all the folks over there. And I'm a big fan of Eddie Pless and Angie Peters. And hello to Brenda Byron, by the way, Miss Brenda. I've made her friendship since hanging out over in Elizabethton. So it's good stuff. Appreciate those folks. And they've been very, very welcoming and receptive to me personally, and I appreciate that very, very much. They're good peeps in Elizabethton. So there you be. Tom Taylor Sports Show. We are live here again at Chick-Fil-A, The Crossings in North Johnson City. Got some college football to tell you about. And so let's jump in here and talk a little bit about that. First off, we'll take a look at the East Tennessee State Buccaneer football schedule for 2018. For the second straight season, the Bucs open at home as they'll host Mars Hill. Again, yet to be determined the date, but they are going to be playing that one for sure. Of course, the Bucs will be heading off to Knoxville to take on Jeremy Pruitt and the Tennessee Volunteers coming up on Saturday, September the 8th. Buccaneers guaranteed $500,000 for playing that game at Neyland Stadium. So not only get a chance to be on the SEC radar playing Tennessee as a non-conference opponent, but they also are going to make a nice little chunk of change, $500,000. That'll buy a lot of helmets and jock straps and mouthpieces and uniforms and whatever it needs at East Tennessee State. So here's the schedule. Mars Hill to home to open things. September the 8th at Tennessee. September the 15th at VMI. Then you come back and play 2 at home, 3 at home. Furman, Chattanooga, and Gardner-Webb for homecoming on October the 6th. The Bucs will then travel to the Citadel, to the Wofford, come back home to Western Carolina on October the 27th. Then they'll go to Mercer and then wrap things up back at home for the final game of the home season, the final game of the regular season, November the 17th against Samford. So Buck football in good hands with new coach Randy Sanders. So it all starts again early with a home game again, as we said, for the Buccaneers against the Lions at Mars Hill. So that's a little bit of college football for you. Other college football notes, Hugh Freeze. How about this? Hugh Freeze spotted, openly spotted, he wanted to be spotted, on the campus of the University of Alabama. Apparently, he has shown a lot of interest in the offensive coordinating position that is now open. Freeze's interest in working with the Tide, according to a source, not necessarily exclusive to the offensive coordinator position, but he has done that and would be very much interested in being on the staff of Nick Saban. The Tuscaloosa News mentioning in the same report that former Florida coach Jim McElwain also in the mix to replace Brian Daboll. Daboll, I've heard it pronounced both ways, and has had conversation with Nick Saban. Daboll went on to be the offensive coordinator of the Buffalo Bills. McElwain was let go from Florida back in October after 3 consecutive losses, and tensions within the department rose to a level where athletic director Scott Strickland had to make a move. They fired Jim McElwain. McElwain, by the way, was the Crimson Tide's offensive coordinator from 2008 to 2011 under Nick Saban, helping lead Alabama to 2 BCS titles in 2009 and 2011. So obviously they're lining up to go back and coach at Alabama, and so we'll see who he decides is going to be worthy to do that. On a sad note, college football, Washington State quarterback Tyler Helinski died Tuesday of an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound, committed suicide. Sad story. Statement from police says Pullman, Washington officers were called to check on the welfare of Helinski after he failed to show up in practice. Officers found the redshirt sophomore at his apartment deceased with an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound to the head. Suicide note was recovered. Helinski had been in line to be the starting quarterback for Washington State in 2018. And so, sad story, obviously. And so Tyler Helinski, again, dies of a self-inflicted gunshot wound. The backup quarterback was going to be the quarterback for the Cougars of Washington State. What else happening in college football? Stanford running back and 2017 Heisman runner-up Bryce Love is returning for his senior season at Stanford. His father told the San Francisco Chronicle newspaper. Love led the Pac-12, was second in the nation with over 2,100 rushing yards and scored 19 touchdowns. His 8.1 yards per rush set an FBS record, and so Bryce Love is back for his senior season for the Stanford Cardinal, which is good news for Stanford to have their number 1 running back, and again the guy who led the Pac-12 in rushing, second in the country in rushing with over 2,100 yards. Obviously that's a nice little shot in the arm for that program to know he's coming back for 2018. Also, the offseason has just begun. A rocky start in South Bend, Indiana. Coach Brian Kelly dismissing wide receiver Kevin Stefferson, defensive back Brandon Tyson, and running backs Deion McIntosh and C.G. Holmes kicked off the team permanently. So that will certainly hurt in the offseason, trying to get ready for 2018. So 4 let go because of, I guess, conduct detrimental to the Notre Dame football program. So gone, and looking for replacements, obviously. So 4 guys let go by head coach Brian Kelly of Notre Dame football. We'll talk Major League Baseball at the top of the hour. The buddy Greg Salyer. We got a lot to talk about. I'm going through all the different topics, and let's see. You also have here's another story, a little closer to home for me. Marshall quarterback Chase Litton announces he will enter the NFL draft. Litton, 6'6" quarterback out of Tampa, Florida, announcing his decision Sunday to forego his senior season and enter the draft. And so Litton leaving an offense loaded with veteran talent. Don't understand this. All 5 starting linemen, the top 2 receivers, top 3 running backs are all back this year for Marshall football. So Litton was climbing the Thundering Herd's all-time passing charts in touchdowns, completions, passing yards. I mean, this guy was putting on a pretty good career, and so he opts to go out early and forego his senior year of eligibility, and he's going to test the waters of the National Football League in the April draft for the NFL. So Marshall looking for a new quarterback for the Marshall University Thundering Herd for 2018. That's a look at college football here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show. We're live again at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. We told you about 2 of the salads earlier. It is the season. Folks in here getting salads, trying to get healthy and looking at losing some weight and be a little bit more health conscious in 2018. The other salad that we want to tell you about is the spicy Southwest salad with 450 calories, all it is. Slices of grilled spicy chicken breast, chilled and served on a fresh bed of chopped romaine lettuce and baby greens, topped with shredded red cabbage and carrots, grape tomatoes, a blend of Monterey Jack and cheddar cheeses, and a zesty combination of roasted corn and black beans with seasoned tortilla strips, creamy salsa dressing. It's available along with the Cobb salad and the grilled market salad. 3 salads to choose from. Again, here at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. Can't go wrong with a salad from Chick-Fil-A. And of course, on a day like today, the spicy chicken tortilla soup or the chicken noodle soup up there on the menu board. That'll go down easy as well. What's really crazy, I've been watching the folks coming through here. They've been selling a lot of milkshakes. 15, 16 degree weather, and a lot of shakes are flying out of here today. So that's kind of interesting. But anyway, that's what's going on here at Chick-fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. And so if you have a hankering, stop by here and get yourself something. The drive-thru's open. Of course, the restaurant is open. Roads are, here close to Chick-fil-A, the Crossings are in pretty good shape, all things considered. Interstate looks like it's fairly clear. I think the back roads, as always, the back roads and the county roads and the mountainous roads are the ones that are very slippery and treacherous this afternoon. And so if you're going to be out and about, obviously use your noggin, because we are going to lose whatever we got going for the positive today as far as any type of melting, because it's going to freeze back over and get down to the single digits tonight. But tomorrow, upper 30s, and it's going to be into the 40s for the weekend. So we're going to get on the backside of this cold snap and start warming up, which is going to be a good thing. Before we go to the break, let me tell you about how you can get tickets to the Food City 500 at your local Food City. Food City 500 tickets are $50 for adults right now, $10 for kids 12 and under for the Food City 500. Tickets for the NASCAR Xfinity Series, the Fitzgerald Glider Kids 300, will be $30 for adults. Kids get in free on that Saturday, April the 14th. Kids free 12 and under. Again, for the Food City or Fitzgerald Glider Kids 300 on Saturday, April the 14th, and Sunday, April the 15th. Kids ticket $10 for kid 12 and under. Adults are $50 for the Food City 500. And for the Fitzgerald Glider Kids 300, the Xfinity Series race, Eric Jones back to defend his crown for that race, and so that'll be a $30 ticket. They're available at any and all Food Cities. Here's the cool part too. New this year, every time you purchase a ticket in store at Food City, you get 500 additional value points on your Food City value card. That's pretty cool. Value points are redeemable to save money on fuel and groceries, and so the cutoff to buy your tickets for April racing will be on April the 10th, so you got a while, but we're 88 days away from the Food City 500, and so get your tickets. Buy your Bristol tickets for less at Food City. I like this little, check it out. Buy your tickets for less at Food City. Again, the Food City 500, $50 for adults, $10 for kids. The Fitzgerald Glider Kids 300, the Xfinity Series race, and the Zombie Auto 125 is a doubleheader. $30 for adults. Kids get in free on that Saturday, April the 14th. These tickets are available, again, at all Food City locations. All tickets will be reserved seating selected by Bristol Motor Speedway's ticket office, and they'll be emailed prior to race week to you. So there you go. Quick break. We'll be right back. We're live at Chick-fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. More sports coming at you, and we've got the Major League Baseball update with the buddy Greg Salyer. When he gets in here, he'll sit down to the seat. Speaking of, when he gets in here, voila, the Godfather is here of baseball. He joins us next here on the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue. Do you like pulled pork? At Phil's, the pulled pork is cooked low and slow. We cook it all night, but we serve it fast. Our pulled pork is hickory smoked, tender and juicy. We serve the pork either as a sandwich on a bun or platter style with garlic toast. And don't forget to try our pork wings. They taste like a cross between ham and our sweet ribs. It comes as a meal, as an add-on, or part of our meat sampler platters. Pulled pork and pork wings. Just two great reasons to stop by Phil's Dream Pit. Eastern Star exit off I-26, 349-6437. Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do you do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and Done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400. Your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-Fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-Fil-A. Chick-Fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
Back on the Tom Taylor Sports Show, we are live again at Chick-Fil-A, the Crossing, the North Johnson City, business as usual. Drive-through is open and hopping as usual. And we got a pretty good walk-in crowd here on a snowy, wintry Wednesday. So a lot of the schools are closed. Some businesses are closed. I would assume a lot of churches will be shut down tonight because the road's going to freeze back over and get a little, I would say, as they say back home, a little greasy tonight. So if you don't have to be out, please don't. We've been told of a tragedy here just a few minutes ago of a young man who lost his life on the icy roads last night. And, you know, I'm going to preach to you for just a second here. Of course, Greg's a pastor, and we know that, Southwestern Baptist, dear friend. What are you going to do with Jesus? Now, this gentleman who lost his life remains anonymous, but he was here and he's gone. And so you saw him yesterday, and some folks saw him yesterday, and so now, you know, he's lost his life. So what are you going to do with Jesus, folks? That's the only question that matters. And where are you going to spend eternity, folks? Well, I don't know. I said, well, you're going to spend it somewhere. Am I right?
That's right.
Yeah, you're going to spend it somewhere.
Only two options, too.
Two options, and you make the choice. And we're the only creature God made that gives us the choice and the capability to make a choice. So, and by not making a choice, you're making a choice. So, what are you going to do with Jesus? And so our thoughts and prayers go out to this young man and his family, and sad situation. Here yesterday, and he's at your church and playing some musical instruments and hanging out with some folks, and then he tragically lost his life last night in a car wreck, I guess due to snow and ice. So what are you going to, and one more spot when we get into baseball, because that's why he's here, but you know, some folks treat sports as the spoke, as the spoke in the wheel of life, which is okay, but for me, it is a spoke in the wheel of life, right?
Yeah,
absolutely. Some folks make it the only thing. I mean, these people go nuts. I was talking to a guy the other day that, I'm not kidding you, I met a guy who told me he has to go to counseling because he gets so worked up watching ball games, a particular team, he snaps and throws. He said he's destroyed multiple remotes by throwing them, and I thought, man, you need to do something. He said, well, I go get counseling and go see a psychiatrist every week. I said, well, just stop watching the teams. He said, I just get so worked up. I said, dude, it's a game.
Yeah.
Anyway, I mean, I do a show on sports, and I get it. Sports is important to a point, right?
Right. I love sports, but you know,
it is what it is.
There are so many other things more important.
Amen, brother. And so, you know, for me and this show, that's why we talk about the Lord all the time. We talk about going to the code. We talk about FCA. We talk about whatever we can talk about the Lord, because sports for me is one spoke in the wheel of life. That's what it is. So,
yeah.
And it's a fun spoke, but it is that, just a spoke. All right, I'm done preaching. But anyway, our thoughts and prayers go out to that family, and here today and gone tomorrow. What's it say in James? We're just a hand breath, just here for a little while. Is it James?
A vapor.
Just a vapor, hand breath. Mm-hmm. Here today and gone.
Yeah.
So, all right, baseball.
Yeah.
I got a stack over here.
Oh, yeah, we got a lot of stuff.
Yeah, you told me last week, you said the free agent market is going to heat up because we're inside of a month, the pitchers and catchers reporting for Major League Baseball, and you're exactly right. So I don't know where you want to start, I guess.
Yeah, well, you know,
take it away.
I think one of the reasons that it heated up, too, was these teams have exchanged arbitration figures with players, and a lot of them have been settled, you know, so they're not going to arbitration. Some of them are. And, you know, so I think at that point some teams started saying, okay, here is where we are. Here's what's going to happen with some of these players we thought we might sign. You know, so now some guys are being signed and some trades are being made. So it's an exciting time.
Want to say hello to J.T. Holloman and Martha Buck, and also Kevin Mast and Rebecca Grindstaff and Cody Peak, some of the folks, again, watching the show. Thank you very, very much. Also, Brenda Byram and Elizabethan, and Kelly Essler, the Milligan swim coach, Chris Barber, Kim Witherspoon, Darius Hensley, Renee McNeil, Jerry McNeil. Say it proud, Tom. God is good. Of course, we gave you the verse of the day a few minutes ago, so earlier in the show, I should say. So, yep, we got baseball and some signings. Let's start with, I'm going to run these down. You tell me what you think, and we'll go through your list. Blue Jays and veteran outfielder Curtis Granderson, 1 year, $5 million deal. Granderson, 36, had openly weighed retirement last season, his 14th year in the majors, and his last in a 4-year, $60 million contract with the Mets. Curtis Granderson going to the Blue Jays. Good move?
Yeah, not a bad move for the Blue Jays. You know, guy's got some age on him, but showing he can still swing the stick, and you know, still got a little bit of spring in his legs. So this may be his last hurrah, I would imagine. It may not be. I mean, you know, guys play well into their 40s now, but you know, we've seen some digression, maybe perhaps from Curtis Granderson in years past, and I think he's definitely not going to be at his peak, but for a $5 million player, he will fit a nice role, I think, for the Blue Jays.
Two-time World Series champion, 8-time All-Star, 8-time Gold Glove winner. Twice he's finished in the top 4 of the MVP voting of the National League. 14 seasons. Yadier Molina, who started in Johnson City, the catcher for the Cardinals. Some news about him. What's going on?
Yeah, he has. He's made an announcement that you don't hear very often, but he has said that once his current contract expires with the Cardinals, he will retire from baseball. That's at the end of the 2020 season. So he still has 3 seasons to play, but he's pretty much given them notice now. Okay, this is it for me, and you know, not a particular player that I really like a lot, but a guy that has shown himself to be a great player over the years, and I think perhaps a Hall of Fame player in the future.
Oh, I would think so, absolutely.
Yeah.
So Yadier Molina says, you know, a lot of guys is like, you hear this all the time, some people just kind of know when it's time to go home, and some guys just hang on to the bitter end. Well, he's obviously has said, I know when it's time to go home. I'm going to play a couple of more seasons, and I'm out of here. So giving Cardinals notice to get ready to start replacing him. Andrew McCutchen traded to the San Francisco Giants for right-hander Kyle Crick, minor league outfielder Brian Reynolds, and $500,000 in international signing bonus allocation. Good move for the Giants, good move for the Pirates. What do you think?
Yeah, the Giants needed an outfielder really bad, and they saw a player that they wanted, and they went out and got him. I'll tell you, the Giants have done a few things to get better this year. They're definitely not going to be the same team they were last year, which, you know, they were just a bust last year. I was totally disappointed. I really thought that they would be one of the top 2 teams in their division, and of course we're not. But I think they've made a lot of headway. I think they've done what they need to do to improve on that. I don't think they're finished. I think they'll still make another move or two before the season starts, maybe even into spring training. Who knows? But look for them maybe to pick up even another outfielder.
Garrett Cole, the ace of the staff, the pitching staff, traded to Houston last weekend since we last visited. And now Josh Harrison, now the team's longest tenured player, says, you got rid of Cole, you got rid of Andrew McCutcheon. Maybe it's time, maybe I need to get out of here too.
Yeah, we talked last week that for some of these teams, it's time for them to either fish or cut bait. And I think the Pirates have said, well, for the time being, I think we're going to cut some bait. And they have definitely gone into a rebuild mode, I believe. And, they picked up some good prospects there for Cole, for sure. They needed a third baseman. They got a young third baseman. They got a good relief pitcher who will probably be in their rotation. He's been a reliever for the Astros, Musgrove, but he's probably going to be in their rotation next year because they need starters. And, you can't really blame Josh Harrison. He's a player that also a lot of teams have inquired on, from my understanding. So there's a good chance they could pull a trade off and even get more prospects for him as well.
See on the screen, talking to Greg Salyer, the Major League Baseball Update does a phenomenal job every week. I always wondered that when you own a team, you see them trade off all the good guys. You thinking, what am I, chopped liver? I mean, I just wonder what they think. And so there's a guy that probably thinks like I'm thinking, okay, if they're getting out of town on the bus, maybe I need to get going too. You need to get rid of me as well, because probably the toughest job in Pittsburgh right now is selling season tickets for Pirate baseball, because you lose Garrett Cole, the ace of the pitching staff. You lose their offensive firepower, and probably the face of the Pirates in a lot of ways, Andrew McCutcheon.
Right.
So, a little tough right now selling tickets in Pittsburgh.
Now, let's face it. They still have Gregory Polanco. They still have Starling Marte. They got this Josh Bell that really played a good first base for them last year as a rookie. Josh Harrison might decide he wants to stick around. He could be their token all-star for the team. Who knows? But I understand his concept though. Saying, "Hey, I want to win." And they've got a team that can compete with some teams in baseball.
Yeah.
But they're not going to compete for the division title.
Washington Nationals may, because they got some horses in the barn. $7 million 2-year contract with outfielder Howie Kendrick. Again, Kendrick, 34 years old, 293, 7 homers and 7 home runs and RBIs. Let's see, he hit 293 with 7 home runs and 52 games with Washington. Doesn't say they left the RBIs out as a typo, but anyway, he signs a contract. 34 years old with Washington. What do you think?
Made sense for the Nationals to do that, I think. I think he's a good fit for them because of what he brings to their clubhouse. I think he fits a role that a lot of teams need, and that's a guy that can play a lot of positions. That can pinch hit. And at this point in his career, I don't think he cares what his role is. I think as long as he's on the team, he's playing, and he's going to be a winner. I think he's going to be happy.
Minnesota Twins pick up reliever Addison Reed, 2 years, $16 million contract. Reed, 125 saves in 7 Major League seasons. Started last season with the Mets, traded to the Red Sox. Now a Minnesota Twin. What do you think?
Yeah, other than Wade Davis and Greg Holland, this guy was the class of all the relievers that were on the market. I think it was a good move. I was a little surprised he actually went to the Twins, but that was a good move for the Twins to pick him up. They've been trying hard to get some of these free agents. And I understand some guys maybe don't want to go to Minnesota where it's cold in April and it's cold in September even. But they don't play in a dome anymore,
No.
so they don't have that climate control. So that can be tough because didn't they have a game snowed out last year?
They did
At the beginning of the season.
They sure did.
So but to pick up a guy like Addison Reed, I think he's going to be really helpful to their team. And they were a playoff team. They were a wild card team, and look for them to compete for that again this year.
Talking to Greg Salyer, talking Major League Baseball. Since we visited last Wednesday, Josh Donaldson nails down a huge contract, $23 million contract, the largest one-year deal for an arbitration-eligible player ever, 3-time All-Star. Again, topping the one-year deal that Bryce Harper signed last year. So Josh Donaldson stays in Toronto for the Blue Jays as a third baseman, making $23 million over 162 games. Pretty good chunk of change, my friend.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. That I guess that means they're going to keep him too, because we kept hearing they might try to trade him. But I think they took a step backwards in any trades for Josh Donaldson because the team's going to have to pick up that contract now. And, that might be a little tougher than what they were thinking it might be with the contract they thought he might have.
Is that $23 million right there?
That's $23 million right there.
It's divided by 162 games. See what the old boy's going to make this year. God bless him. I don't know how he's going to be able to make it.
Yeah, only 142,000 a game. So
is that not divide that by 9 innings? Old Josh, God bless him, is making $15,000 an inning. $15,775 an inning. So there you go.
Whew.
Bless his heart. Reckon he can buy some Chick-Fil-A? Is that?
I think he can, and he ought to play all 162 games for that amount, shouldn't he?
The absurdity. I mean, I guess if they're going to come away with that kind of money in front of me and you, I would be stupid not to take it. But really, $15,000 an inning, every game, all year. Whether he plays or not, the guy's making the jack.
Yeah, well, and that contract that A-Rod signed, which at the time, the biggest contract in baseball, he was making $79,000 a day, even in the off season. No matter what, even off days, off season, no matter what, $79,000 a day. That's more than most people you and I know make in a year, probably.
Unbelievable. We're talking again to our buddy Greg Sire. The Cubs, again, they step up at the plate and re-signed Chris Bryant since last week. $10.85 million, the most for a player eligible for arbitration for the first time. So he's got a nice little chunk of change.
Yeah, that sounds like a bargain compared to Donaldson.
Yeah.
Right?
It's like a fire sale.
Yeah, well, and to think about it, both of them third basemen. Both of them won an MVP. I think it might be a bargain.
Also, the Cubs signed Kyle Kendrick, the right-hander, for 4.1. Shortstop Addison Russell for 3.2. Reliever Justin Wilson for 4.25. Infielder Tommy LaStella for $950,000. Also exchanging figures with reliever Justin Grimm. So Cubs are shoring up their team. Take care, Bubba. Looking good on your LSU snow hat. Yeah. Can you come right here and come right here and look over his shoulder.
Come over here.
I want everybody to see my man here. This is good.
I'd like to have one of those. That's pretty cool.
Yeah. Tell everybody who you is. Colin Brooks with his LSU snow hat. Go Tigers. Probably don't wear that a lot down in Baton Rouge, do you? No. You take care, man. Love that guy. He's a funny guy. Again, Colin Brooks again with his LSU snow hat. Good stuff. All right, you got Baltimore, Manny Machado. They nail him down. He's been bouncing around, isn't he? He stays in town for a $16 million contract. That's good for the Orioles, I would assume.
That doesn't mean they won't trade him. I don't think. I think somebody would still trade for him even with that
this
contract.
Year?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think they still could. That means they've avoided arbitration with him. They know that's what he knows, and they know that's what he's going to be paid. I think he could still be traded, so it could still happen. But I think it'd be a good move.
We mentioned Garrett Cole going to the Astros. They re-up Dallas Keuchel, $13 million deal. And then Colorado signs National League batting champion Charlie Blackmon to a $14 million contract. Those good moves, those teams?
Yeah. They're just trying to avoid arbitration with these guys. And if you can get something done and you don't have to sit down across the table from one of your players and talk about how bad he is, do it. You want these guys to be happy in the clubhouse, on the field. You don't want to have to trash them to their face before an arbiter, so you can save $500,000 next year.
That Greg Sauer, he can't play dead. I don't know why you want to side him.
And with all the sabermetrics and stuff now, everybody's got something negative about them. So they're going to dig it up and they're going to bring it out. Anything they can do to save money. I'll tell you one that I think is just crazy that they didn't get something done. Scooter Gennett is going to arbitration with the Reds.
Yep.
And I think it's about an $800,000-$900,000 difference in their figures that they proposed there. That's a no-brainer. He's going to win.
Yeah.
The season he had last year.
Exactly.
There's no way he's going to lose that arbitration hearing. So, and the Reds don't have a great track record with those anyway. So.
No. We're talking to Greg Sauer coming up. He's here. He's come out of the snow drifts Our buddy Doug Fritz is going to be here talking some high school sports in a minute. And tell you what, this show, I am blessed with some great guests all the time. These two guys are one of them, or two of them. Greg every week, and then Doug, when we get him in here, kind of rotate with other John C. Press sports writers. But you've got more. Jay Bruce, kind of running down again. It's heating up. We told you it would.
Yeah.
We got pitchers and catchers reporting inside a month now for Major League Baseball. Jay Bruce, and you got some other folks. Tell me about it.
Yeah, Jay Bruce re-upped with the Mets, 3 years, $39 million. Good move for the Mets. Shows they are willing to go all in this year with the pitching that they have. So, that one was announced right after I left last week. So that one's about a week old. So that's one that came out. A couple other things we'll mention. Hall of Fame ballot is going to be revealed, I think, on the 24th. So that's coming up pretty soon. And I've been looking at some of the players that some of the ballots that have already been made public. So there's 3 guys I think are locks on the ballot this year, and that's almost never the case.
Chipper Jones,
Vlad Guerrero, and Jim Thome.
Vladimir Guerrero's in.
Yeah, I think
Jim
he's going to
Thome?
be in. Yeah. I think those 3 guys are pretty much locks. I think there's 2 other guys that have a really good chance.
Andrew Jones.
No, believe it or not.
Oh.
He is getting. I'm very surprised at the numbers for him so far, because I think he'll remain on the ballot, but Andrew Jones deserves a lot more consideration than he's getting. He's one of those guys, though, I think you had to see him play. If you look at his overall career numbers, people say, well, maybe not, but he had 10 of the best years for a center fielder in baseball, all right there together, and unfortunately he dropped off at the end. And I heard a guy on television talking about it and said, well, the unfortunate thing about that is he wasn't injured. He just kind of fell off.
Dropped off.
Yeah. So that hurts him, I think. But I would love to see him get more support for the Hall of Fame. The 2 guys that are on the bubble, I think, though, are Edgar Martinez and Trevor Hoffman.
Edgar, because he was a DH, I think he's not getting a lot of serious looks because he was a DH most of his career, but
Right.
The guy had some numbers. And Hoffman, relief pitcher for the Padres, among others.
Came up with the Reds, mostly with the Padres.
Everybody comes up with the Reds.
They'll trade everybody. Everybody's going to be.
You look around, everybody came up with the Reds.
So,
oh Lord.
Yeah, I saw a thing on Twitter yesterday that said, just think if we still had Didi Gregorius in our lineup.
Yeah, half of the team that's out there somewhere else now.
Yeah.
It'd be barn burner team, but anyway, so Trevor Hoffman's one of those guys trying to get into the Hall of Fame is on the outside looking in. Last but not least, you want to talk about some pitching rotations, is that right?
Yeah, let's talk about this. Saw an interesting article about the top 5 pitching rotations for 2018. And of course, this is still subject to change because some of these teams could still change their rotations. But
see if I can guess them.
Okay, guess who's number 1?
Okay, the top pitching rotation as it is right now, Major League Baseball, I'm going to say either the Houston Astros or the Washington Nationals.
You are correct. It's the Houston Astros.
Astros, okay.
Yeah, they actually would have come in number 2 on this list had it not been for the Garrett Cole trade that they just made. But the criteria they used with this is the stat WAR, which is wins above replacement for all the pitchers, and they took 7 starters. So the top 7 starters in their on that particular team. So Astros number 1. So are you thinking the Nationals are number 2?
I'm going to say the Nationals or the Dodgers.
You are not correct on this.
Whoa. Yankees?
No.
Wow. Okay. Cubs?
No.
The second best pitching staff behind the Astros going into the season is not the Nationals or not the Dodgers.
Think American League, though.
Cleveland.
You are correct.
Cleveland.
The Cleveland Indians. Corey Kluber, Carlos Carrasco, Trevor Bauer, Danny Salazar, Mike Clevenger, Josh Tomlin. Yeah, that's the when it comes to WAR, that's it. You've already said number 3.
The Nationals.
The Nationals.
Right.
The Nationals are definitely number 3. Yeah, they're top 4. I think. Well, top 3 especially. Scherzer, Strasburg, Gio Gonzalez, all top-notch guys. Tanner Roark, number 4. Number 5 is where it gets a little iffy for them. So
I'm trying not to look. I didn't look, so I got the top 3.
You have not mentioned number 4 yet.
Well, it ain't the Braves, and it ain't the Reds. I can tell you that. Let's see. Ain't. That's good English. That's West
It's
Virginia.
definitely not Baltimore either,
Ain't
right?
Baltimore, no. Red Sox?
No. You're getting close, but
Yankees?
no.
Blue Jays?
No.
No. Okay. All right, let's go back.
Okay.
Let's think this through. It's not the Dodgers.
No.
I don't know. Hit
Okay,
me.
number 4
would be
the Diamondbacks.
Oh yeah, I never thought.
The
I never thought of
Diamondbacks
them.
was Zach Greinke at the top. Robbie Ray, who had a phenomenal year. Taiwan Walker, Patrick Corbin. Corbin had an off year last year. Look for him to rebound a little bit.
I'd have never thought of them.
Yeah, to be honest, I wouldn't have either. I would have not picked them in the top 5. Now, here's the thing. Okay, here's what I got to tell you about number 5. There's a 3-way tie.
Dodgers,
Red Sox,
Cubs.
No. You have mentioned this team, though, already today.
Who would it be, Doug Fritz?
Like the Dodgers and Red Sox, so then
Yankees.
You are correct.
Okay.
The Yankees.
Okay.
So there was just minimal difference. That's why they made a 3-way tie. It was just not enough to even talk about.
So there's 2 X factors out there that can really help any of these staffs: Jake Arrieta
Yes.
and Yu Darvish.
Yes.
Those 2 guys are still out there, even though Darvish. See, everybody's down on him because he laid an egg in the series. I'm telling you, he had some pretty good numbers for the Rangers. He went over to L.A. Would you agree?
Yeah, he helped them get there. I
Yeah.
mean, he didn't do anything in the World Series.
No, he laid in a big egg.
But he helped them get there. That's for sure.
But those 2 guys, wherever they end up, if any of these staffs or others, can really bolster their pitching staff. So,
Yeah,
anyway.
and I'm hearing the Mariners are really looking at Arrieta. So, good compliment to Felix Hernandez, I would think. Good 1-2 punch. So that makes sense. Darvish, you never know where he's going to end up.
Exactly.
He's got 5 teams that have been identified, and then a mystery team.
Reds. The Braves.
Yeah,
Or
it's
the
probably
Reds.
it's probably the Braves,
Yeah.
but it's a team that he would not identify that he's in talks with as well. So
The
who
Reds.
knows?
Who knows?
But they did say it was a team that did not win last year, so it could be the Reds or the Braves. We don't know.
There
but
you go.
I don't look for him in a Reds uniform next year.
Nah. Greg Salyer, great job, my friend. You hungry?
Yes, sir.
You got it. Go eat. We'll talk to you next week.
All right.
Superb job. Greg Salyer, as always, appreciate him very much. Quick break. We'll take a break. We'll come right back and check in with Doug Fritz from the Johnson City Press talking high school sports. Next here, Chick-Fil-A show number 668 of the Tom Taylor Sports Show.
Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue. Do you like pulled pork? At Phil's, the pulled pork is cooked low and slow. We cook it all night, but we serve it fast. Our pulled pork is hickory smoked, tender and juicy. We serve the pork either as a sandwich on a bun or platter style with garlic toast. And don't forget to try our pork wings. They taste like a cross between ham and our sweet ribs. It comes as a meal, as an add-on, or part of our meat sampler platters. Pulled pork and pork wings. Just 2 great reasons to stop by Phil's Dream Pit. Eastern Star exit off I-26, 349-6437. Phil's Dream Pit, the quest for perfect barbecue.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City takes care of both male and female customers, but owner Kim Smith says they have a special care and concern for ladies.
Being a female in what's considered a man's business, I understand the trepidation that women may have when they come to the shop. They feel like they don't know about cars, they might be intimidated, but that's not the way we do business. Everybody's treated the same. We take the time to explain anything that they have questions about, the repair, the process, the part. We want to make sure people are comfortable with what we're going to do to their vehicle and that they understand. We do cater to women in a sense. We have a real nice waiting room with nice Keurig coffee and flavored creamers, air-conditioned, cushioned seats, TV, everything a girl could want while she waits for her car to be fixed.
American Import and Auto Repair in Johnson City, open 6 days a week. Call today at 913-3111.
It's Friday night at 7 o'clock. You've been involved in a car accident. You may be out of state on vacation or just a few miles from home. What do? Who do you call? At Farmers Insurance Group, one call is all you have to make. Hello, this is Jim Klein, an agent with Farmers Insurance. It's called One and Done. You don't have to wait till Monday morning to file a claim. You can make the initial call, and we'll begin right away to help you. We assist you in moving the vehicle to a certified repair shop, getting you set up with rental car, and informing your agent. Then here at the staff at Jim Klein Farmers Insurance, we follow the claim through to the end. It's that easy. One and done. We're your one and done location for all your insurance needs. Auto, home, life, commercial, workers' comp, and bonds. We can help you with all your insurance needs. Give me a call today, Jim Klein Farmers Insurance at 247-5400. Your one and done location in Kingsport, 247-5400.
Any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-Fil-A. Over 10 to choose from. Perfect for having the gang over to watch the big game, birthday parties, church get-togethers, backyard gatherings, everything from fruit trays to garden salad trays to nuggets and chicken strip trays. And for the sweet tooth, try the cinnamon cluster or chocolate chunk cookie tray. So you see, any day is a good day to get a tray from Chick-Fil-A. Chick-Fil-A at the Crossings in North Johnson City.
It is. He's on 3. And we're back and we're live here at Chick-fil-A, the Crossings in North Johnson City. Again, here's the verse of the day, and we want to, as we say, we dedicate this show to the Lord every day. It's His show. You want to read it? You can read it.
I'll read it.
Doug Fritz is here with us.
Psalm 139, 14 through 18. You are my wonderful work. Don't ever forget that. You were not hidden from me, for I created you. I have ordained all your days. They were written in my book before the beginning of time. My thoughts are precious to you. They are more than all the grains of sand.
Psalm
139, 14 through 18. And I love that part where it says, I have ordained all your days. They were written in my book before the beginning of time.
Well, you know what that means? That means on January the 17th, 2018, the Lord knew, or God knew, you'd be sitting here on my show in a flannel shirt. It's 15 degrees outside. We're at Chick-fil-A. He knew all that before we came out of our mama's belly.
Amen.
That's the way I take it.
Amen.
So, you know, I was reading the Numbers last night, kind of getting into the Old Testament, but I was reading Numbers, and Moses, after all God did to deliver the Israelites out of Egypt and everything He provided for them, and then He said, okay, we're going to, the folk, you know, when you watch the Ten Commandment movie, it looks like there's a few people. Well, it turns out it was about 600,000 people left Egypt when they went to the Promised Land, and so God promised that He would feed 600,000 people meat for a month. And so Moses says, well, God, are you sure you can, you know, I mean, he's kind of questioning him, and it says in Numbers 11:23, it says, Moses, are my arms shortened? It's like, you don't think I can do this, dude? Come on now. And so he did provide meat for 600,000 men every day for a month. It's no big deal to him. So, wow. So, point being, you know, if he knew where we are, I mean, there's Tim Birchfield sitting right there, the owner, sitting right here, and it's cold outside, and they're selling soup, and you're going to get something to eat after this, and all this was ordained before you even come out of your mama's belly, then there's nothing he can't do.
You know,
amen?
Amen. And I love the sovereignty of God, and I love it so much that, and I'll debut this here on your show. I've created a what I call a book trailer. I've written a novel, and I haven't finished the trailer. I'm in the process of editing the novel, and I've been going through it several times, and I've got to find somebody to read it. But it's a novel. It's Christian fiction, but the theme of it is one of the themes of it is the sovereignty of God, and you know, that's what I love. That's what drives me now in my life is trying to present the gospel in a way that helps people understand that God is in control. And with all the chaos in this world, that's the one thing we need to cling to, because the chaos isn't going to get better. We're not going to go back to 1950.
No.
Well, it's just not going to happen. So you've got to have a rock in the storm, and that rock is Jesus Christ. And that's the message that I want to share with people.
Well, and the Bible plainly tells you it ain't going to get any better. It says in the last days it's going to be perilous times. Well, I mean, the Bible says, where we are, it ain't going to get any better. It's going to get tougher. So you better hang on to the rock. And the $100,000 million question, I say it every day, what are you going to do with Jesus? It's real simple. And we have to make a choice, and by not making a choice, you made a choice. So anyway, that's the verse of the day. We dedicate our show to the man who hung on the cross unashamedly. High school sports snowed out last night. Everybody got snowed out, understandably so, erring on the side of caution. But a great story you had today in the Johnson City Press about rescheduling. I mean, it is a nightmare to reschedule these games if you're an athletic director because, as your article said, bus drivers, concession stand people, cheerleaders, I mean, it goes on ball players. I mean, it's not just, okay, we're going to reschedule. You got to take a lot of folks into consideration. And rescheduling gets to be a real interesting dilemma, does it not?
It really does. And then you get into the gamesmanship of, well, for example, Daniel Boone and Science Hill rescheduled their game for tomorrow, for Thursday. So Science Hill's got to play Daniel Boone, boys and girls, on Thursday, and turn around and play Dobbins Bennett on Friday. Now, on both of those situations, boys and girls, those are tough games back to back. It's almost like a tournament atmosphere, which is a good thing. But both coaches want to fit it best to their schedule. So you start this jockeying back and forth and say, okay, well, we don't want to play on that day because we got this team coming up next. The other team says, well, we don't want to play on that day because we got this team coming up next. And it becomes such a problem. They've had problems with it for years. And so Danny Good, Barry Wade got together, AD at Daniel Boone, Danny Good, AD at Tennessee High, Barry Wade, and said, hey, how we can do this and try and fix this. And they've talked about making it automatic. If you're snowed out on Tuesday, neither of you are playing on Wednesday, you play on Wednesday, and that's the way it is. But I did think about one thing. What if you've got, and they probably, and I don't know how you do this, because when you come up with a cut and dried, here's the way it is, no choice about it. What if you've got a game scheduled on Tuesday, and then on Wednesday somebody's got something, a funeral, a church service they have to attend, they're speaking somewhere, and they've got that scheduled on Wednesday, and you've got this automatic rule, hey, we're playing on Wednesday, you're going to put some people in a tough bind for that, so maybe you need a little bit of maneuvering, leeway. Of course, people would take advantage of it if you do that, so I don't know.
I hope it never comes, because I'm going to tell you right now, I won't. Never say never, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to say never. I'll never do games on Sunday. I'm just not going to do it. I hope it doesn't come to that where they start scheduling games on Sundays on the Sabbath, on the Lord's Day, and I guess they can. I know in baseball they play sometimes on Sunday, on Mother's Day, and I've bucked that 2 or 3 times, and of course, anyway, hope it doesn't come to that point, but rescheduling is a problem. Hello to Tank Morrell and Elizabethton. Hello to AT back up in West Virginia. I hope you're doing great. Hello to Renee McNeil and Elizabethton. Appreciate you very much. These are some of the folks. And J.T. Holloman, our dear friend, part of the law enforcement. Again, I want to send out a big shout-out to the EMS and the firefighters and the policemen and the police ladies, guys and ladies that have been taking care of us in these days, and the road crews in behind those trucks all night long, dropping the salt and the brine that, we just assume are going to be out there. Well, they don't have to be, but they are, being away from their families to protect us and take care of us. So we salute EMS, firefighters, police officers, and certainly the snow removal folks and the road crews this time of year. We thank you for what you're doing. Knox Catholic making a switch, kind of refresh our memory what was going on as far as reclassification. First they said they were, now they're not. What's the very latest Knox Catholic?
When they first went through this, and there started to be a push to get the private schools out of Division I into Division II, once this became kind of a concrete idea and it looked like it was going to happen, pretty much all of the private schools went to Division II. There were a few stragglers. One of them was Knox Catholic. One of them was Grace Christian Academy in Franklin, Columbia Academy near Nashville, and I think there was maybe one in Jackson. But these schools decided to stay, and they did it for scheduling purposes. Knox Catholic looked at the schedule and realized, I think it was basketball if I'm not mistaken, and they looked like, well, we're looking at the possibility of having to travel to Nashville for a conference game. So you're looking at a Tuesday night, driving to Nashville, whatever that distance is from Knoxville to Nashville, and kids getting home at 1:30 in the morning or whatever it is, and they just saw these traveling issues. Well, then they came to the realization that they didn't have to play all of the district opponents in the regular season. There's no requirement for that except in football. Basketball, you don't have to play anybody. They'll be seeded low going into the district tournament, but you don't have to play everybody. But then, and also Knoxville Catholic, more probably than any other school in the state that did this, in a private school, they faced a real heavy backlash. The public schools did not want them in there. And you look and see, they won the Class 5A state football championship. I listed in my story what all they won. Tennis, maybe, I can't remember. They won 3 state titles and were runner-up 3 times. So they were just knocking people out of the playoffs right and left. And they were knocking public schools out. And this obviously didn't bode well with the public schools. And Knox Catholic, the principal or headmaster there, or whatever they call him, said, hey, we don't want to be where we're not wanted. And he said it was clear that we were not wanted. So they decided to make the move and get back into Division 2, and that'll take place beginning with the 2019-2020 school year. That sounds weird to say 2020 school year.
It does, funny, yeah.
And but the problem is next year Catholics, they're going to finish out this year, which means baseball, which they're always an issue in baseball, and they're good in basketball, and
but good in everything, aren't they?
Yeah, usually. And so 18 and 19 is going to be the same thing. They're going to be in there, so you got another year and a half, I guess, to deal with this, and then at that point it'll be pretty much a true split, and hopefully we can and that's where it should be. Public should play against public schools in the playoffs, and private schools should play against private schools in the playoffs.
Yeah, apples to apples, oranges to oranges, no question. Because the publics are disadvantaged because the private schools can recruit. They can go out and get Doug Fritz and say, hey, won't you leave XYZ school and come play for us? And they do. And so, the private schools, in essence, can recruit and do. And so it's going to eliminate that to a point. In the Johnson City Press today, this guy does a phenomenal job. And so here's all the standings. I know I couldn't very well see that with the print small, but let's take a look at the Big 7. Science Hill DB, Science Hill 4-0, Dobbins been at 4-1. Those 2 teams play Friday night in the Big 7. And again, Boone and Science Hill play scheduled tomorrow night to make that one up. So that can kind of move things around to the Big 7 boys. 3 Rivers, Unicoi County on top at 6-0. East and Central right there in second place. And then in the Watauga Valley Conference, you've got Cloudland and Hampton at number 1. Sharing the league leadership right now at 3-1 on the season. A lot of basketball left, but what's your take on the boys' basketball right now?
Well, to be perfectly honest, it's a down year for boys basketball in Northeast Tennessee, and it's cyclical. That'll change. They'll come back to these good teams. However, I like what DB's doing. I mean, DB's improving. They're getting better and better. And if they beat Science Hill on Friday, I'm going to start changing my mind a little bit on how I look at DB. And to me, they definitely become the number 1 team, and maybe even a team that can make some noise. I saw them in person a couple of times. They've got some athleticism. They got some size. Some guys that can do stuff inside. That may be the team. Now, I'm not trying to sell Science Hill short. Science Hill has already beaten Dobbins Minute this year, but physically, just in the little bit that I've seen, physically, I think DB's a little bit better and stronger than Science Hill. That's a risky thing to say when Science Hill already has a win in their pocket. And we'll see what happens Friday.
Sun's popped out here a little bit at the Chick-Fil-A in the crossing of North Johnson City on a cold Wednesday, and I'm going to make this statement. We're going to be doing some of the games. We're doing the East game next week, and a Happy Valley game on Friday, and the East game on Tuesday. They're 4-15. They've taken a lot of lumps. They played a lot of the big teams close. Keep an eye on Elizabeth and boys basketball come tournament time, because I think they're 2-3 and 4-15. They're not having a very good year, but again, they're getting better, and they're a young team. And you just need to keep an eye out for Lucas Honeycutt, who's a very, very good coach, and his boys. And we're looking forward to calling their games next week and right into the tournament, district tournament in February in Elizabeth. And so keep an eye on the boys. Elizabeth, you agree or disagree? You've seen them play a lot.
I agree. They played Science Hill and DB a total of 4 times. So, I mean, or They played Science Hill twice. Anyway, they played a very tough schedule, and they've been competitive in a lot of these games. They played Science Hill the other day, and they were right there with them the whole way. They missed a layup with a few minutes to go that would have cut it to 1 point. So this is a team that can compete with Science Hill and compete with DB. So I don't care if they're 4-15. If they can compete with those teams come tournament time, they are going to be a team to be reckoned with because they've got a lot of good young players that are only going to get better. They probably do have a ceiling this year in what they can accomplish, but I think that ceiling, within that ceiling, is a very good showing of the district in a district tournament.
Games scheduled tonight. Again, schedule. You want to check with your school. Central and Elizabethton.
That's already been postponed.
Been whacked. Okay.
And Dobbs Bennett Volunteer also has been clipped.
See, this guy's on the cutting edge. Johnson County at South. We don't know. It's supposed to be played today as well. It's interesting. For the third straight week, there's not been a single boys basketball team ranked in any of the 3 classifications in the state of Tennessee, which I find interesting. That tells me he's right. It is a down year for boys hoops here in Northeast Tennessee. On the girls' side, Science Hill 4-0, Daniel Boone at 3-0. Those 2 teams will allegedly and scheduled to play tomorrow night. That'll be played at Daniel Boone. That's in the Big 7. Three Rivers Central 4-1. Unicoi County's ladies at 4-2, and Watauga Valley's conference, you have 3 at the top, 4 at the top. Cloudland, Unaka, North Green, and Hampton all 3-1. One team that benefited from the reclassification, it's very obvious. Look at Sullivan Central dropping down. They're in the middle of the pack. I should say they're at the top of the pack in the Three Rivers and the boys, and they're leading the Three Rivers girls conference. So there's one school that benefited from the reclassification.
There's no doubt, and I remember back when they were in AA before. They got all the way to the state tournament, and they got really. They ran up against a buzzsaw once they got there, but this is a program that can compete in basketball for sure at the AA level, and this is a program that cannot compete at the AAA level for sure, not anymore. So, they're where they need to be from a competition standpoint, and right now they're a team that you could look at to have some district tournament success. So both boys and girls. So. They've done a good job. I think they've got some fresh coaching in there, and got enough talent to give some of these AA teams some problems.
In closing, any of these girls teams, you can look down the line and say these guys, or not these guys, in this case, these girls may have a chance to go deep or make it down to the state tournament. Anybody jump out at you?
There's just one, maybe. Well, okay. Let me say this. There's 3. First of all, Daniel Boone, with them beating Morristown West on Saturday by 1 point at West, and they were leading 16 points in the third quarter. Daniel Boone has a legitimate shot of reaching the state tournament. If they stay healthy and they keep playing defense like they're playing, they definitely have a shot to get to the state tournament. The other 2 teams that I think have a shot because they're in single A and because some of these private schools are out of the mix now, Cloudland and Unaka. I would have said just Cloudland, but the fact that Unaka beat Cloudland by 18 points the other night at Unaka, I think you've got to consider them in there. And whichever one of those 2 teams, if they navigate through the district and get into that region championship, whichever one of those teams can get a favorable sectional matchup's got a chance to get to Murfreesboro. At this point, everybody's got to stay healthy, so, and that's a tough district. Because Cloudland and Unaka are at the top of that district, but North Green and Hampton are both capable. So you got 4 teams there, and that could be the same, generally speaking, when they get to the region. A lot of times Cosby may mix in there. Northview Academy, if they're still in that region, now, you can get some different things there, but that's a really good district.
So again, we got Elizabethton basketball Tuesday against Sullivan East. We got Elizabethton basketball next Friday against Happy Valley. Got them, in February against Central at home, and then the tournament, so it's going to be a lot of fun at John Treadway Gymnasium. Lucas Andrews took over the girls program. They're making some noise too, so keep an eye on the Elizabethton Lady Cyclones as well. So that Three Rivers tournament is going to be coming up in February at John Treadway Gymnasium in Elizabethton. Guys and girls, that's going to be a barn burner.
It'll be great. That obviously bodes well for Elizabeth, and the fact that they both are young teams, but they'll be getting to play the district at home, which is going to make them more dangerous. I like Unicoi County's boys. I think they got a chance with Brock Thompson, the freshman, coming up with 31 points the other night. That's what they need. They had Troy Podman and Trevor Hensley. They needed that third element that could strike you. And if a kid can get 31 points on the road against Sullivan Central, he becomes that third element.
Exactly.
So now Unicoi County looks like a team that could be very tough to contend with in the postseason.
The lovely Angie Peters is watching right now, and I love that lady to death. She was athletic department secretary, I should say, at Elizabethton, and does a phenomenal job. She's my buddy, and want to say hello to Angie, and she's a sweetheart and appreciate her very much. And again, we're going to be doing Elizabethton baseball. I think it was 13 games plus the tournament. Super excited about that. Got that big auction coming up on Saturday night at the Elizabethton Gym. Had Coach Presno on earlier. Fundraiser has like 100 different baskets they're going to be auctioning off for the baseball, and going to be some cool stuff. Elizabethton's a neat little town, and it's a big sports town. They're passionate. You know this. They love their sports in Elizabethton, don't they?
They really do, and they support them. I mean, they get behind these kids year after year, and if you don't believe that, come and watch how they support a 4-15 boys basketball team.
Exactly.
They still love those kids, and they still believe in them. And you don't get that everywhere. I mean, that's just being honest. You don't get that it's community type things where it really matters to these people, and they know these kids work hard, and they want to see them have success, and then of course they've reaped the benefits of some great seasons in the girls' side and on the boys' side too over the past 10-15 years. So they're not front runners.
I saw did a couple of Duggar football games this year. And I'm not kidding you. That last game against, he played Crockett up at Brown Childers Stadium. There was as many people there as some of the high school football games I've been to. I mean, they packed that place in the band, and so it starts down at Duggar and all the way up to Elizabethton. And a lot of school systems like this too. But just something special about that orange black in Elizabethton. So we appreciate the opportunity. It's an honor to be over there calling their games, and we're looking forward to a good run down the stretch for both the guys and girls basketball, and certainly moving right into baseball. He's got a great nucleus of baseball. I don't know if any coach works any harder than Ryan Presnell at Elizabethton. We had Ryan Wagner on the show earlier this week for a DB coach. Here's a guy who's been the coach at DB for 7 years, taking him to the state tournament 3 out of the 7 years. That's a pretty good success ratio, isn't it?
It sure is. I mean, he does a great job. There's so many good baseball coaches in the area. Good young yes. coaches that really have a passion for coaching the game and care about the kids and do things the right ways. I mean, this area, if you've got a son playing baseball in this area, you don't know how blessed you are to have the type of coaches that are, or maybe you do know, but it's just unique. You won't get this everywhere. I mean, there's a lot of areas where, you just got people that just, throw the bats out there and toss them a baseball and, say, go get them, boys. But not these guys. They're meticulous. They work hard, and that's why they have success. I mean, baseball in Northeast Tennessee has been a great thing for decades.
And Nick Lingerfeld, a former DB coach, moving on now is the head coach of Crockett. So, it's really cool because when I was over doing DB, I had Mike Ritz, Ryan Wagner played for him, and so, it's the trickle-down effect of these guys playing, coming back and coaching where they played and having an impact on these student athletes in baseball and softball. So spring sports, I don't think you guys do a great job at the Johnson City Press, but I think by and large, I don't think our spring sports, particularly baseball and softball, get the oomph from the fans they should. You can go out some of these games, there's 15, 20 people there, but you need to get out and support baseball and softball when it starts up because it really is fun sports, and they all are for that matter, wrestling and swimming and football. So we just love promoting high school sports. Are you hungry?
I'm getting hungry. I was going to tell you that Ryan Wagner added a really, really, really good assistant coach to his staff.
Yes, he did.
In January.
A guy by the name of Fritz.
I mean, he's just tremendous. Mm-hmm. I'll tell you one thing about my brother. You have to talk about meticulous. I mean, he just lays it out there. The stats and the charts and the approach and the every pitch attitude that he has just makes a big difference.
Well, Commander, how are you?
I think that he'll really help that DB program, and it's not that Ryan needed the help because Ryan's an outstanding coach himself, but I really think that's going to help, and it's going to be fun for baseball this year. And yes, I'm hungry.
Yes, I'm excited about getting back in doing some ball games. Haven't been doing it for a while. I'm I'm getting the itch. I'm looking forward to it. So go get something to eat. You're awesome.
Thank you.
Glad you came out on a snowy day, and appreciate him very much. Our buddy Doug Fritz again with us here from the Johnson City Press, and his story today about high school basketball yesterday, and just the sports today about rescheduling the ball games with the athletic director he talked to is spot on. It's interesting. All right, Tennessee basketball tonight. Tennessee plays Missouri and Columbia. Quanzo Martin, the former coach of Tennessee, coaching against his old team. So we'll see how that goes for Rick Barnes and the Tennessee Vols tonight. 21st ranked in the country, 12-4, 3-2 in the Southeastern Conference. Quanzo took over a team that was 8-24 last year. This year already they're 12-5 and 2-2. It's a trap game for Rick Barnes and the Tennessee Volunteers. So we'll see how that goes tonight as they'll play that one in Columbia, Missouri. We'll let you know how it goes tomorrow as we take our show on down the trail tomorrow to, we're going to be, as we said, live at Champion Chevrolet tomorrow, and then come back on Friday at Food City Friday, big $5 Friday sale. We'll talk more about that tomorrow. The Buccaneers of East Tennessee State traveling today, playing tomorrow night at Furman. They've won 12 out of the last 13, and they've won, 8 in a row, and they'll put that on the line tomorrow night at Furman. The Ladybucks play there tonight at Furman, so good luck to Brittany Zell and the Ladybucks for East Tennessee State University basketball. All right, let's run down real quick NBA from last night, and then the National Hockey League, and we'll jump out of here. Last night, NBA, Minnesota and Orlando. Orlando got them 108-102. It was New Orleans going into Boston and beating the Celtics in overtime, 116-113. Also last night, it was Denver, a three-point winner over Dallas, and Portland beat Phoenix by 7. Tonight, NBA, Washington and Charlotte, Detroit and Toronto, New Orleans and Atlanta, San Antonio, my Spurs in Brooklyn. Golden State, the winningest team and the defending world champions, they'll be playing at Chicago tonight. Miami and Milwaukee, New York and Memphis, the Lakers at Oklahoma City, Utah at Sacramento, and Denver plays against the Clippers in Los Angeles for tonight in the NBA. All right, let's see if we get down through here in my stack of stuff. Also, on a sad note, if you're a Boston Celtics fan, they lose one of the all-time greats. JoJo White passed away at the age of 71 with brain cancer. Again, JoJo White, his streak of 488 consecutive games, still a Celtics record, and we lose him yesterday at the age of 71 with brain cancer. So, okay, where's the other thing I wanted to tell you before we get out of here? Just going down through my stack of stuff. Doug says, you got a lot of papers. Yeah, I do. I do. Where is it? Oh, I just had it. There it is. Thank you, Lord. National Hockey League. From last night on the ice, Nashville skates past Vegas. Nashville goes to 26-11. Vegas falls to 29-11. Predators beat them 1-0. Other winners, it was last night. Rangers skating past Philadelphia 5-1, and San Jose a 3-2 winner on the ice at Arizona tonight. Montreal skates at Boston, and the Stanley Cup champion Pittsburgh Penguins skate in Anaheim against the Ducks on a light night on a Wednesday for the National Hockey League. So that's what's going on in sports, and we again thank you for giving us a listen. I want to go down one more time. Coca-Cola, we'll talk about this tomorrow. Coca-Cola re-ups their sponsorship with NASCAR for 4 more years, which is big news. Let's see here. Lord have mercy, I can't find it. It's somewhere down in here. Let me see if I can look one more time. Yep, here it is. Nope, that's not it. Yes, it is. Here it is right here. College basketball, top 25 tonight. Villanova at Georgetown. Wichita State hosting SMU. Auburn at Alabama. Texas Tech, the Red Raiders at Texas tonight. Other ranked teams, Xavier hosting St. John's. Seton Hall will go to Creighton, both top 25 teams. TCU and Iowa State. Arizona at Cal. Tennessee plays at Missouri. And Arizona State at Stanford in men's college basketball. We are out of time. We sincerely thank you for yours. Again, back in the saddle tomorrow at the #1 Chevy dealer in the state. Will be a Champion Chevrolet tomorrow on a Thursday, Friday at Food City in Gray. And then Monday, can't wait, we go to the Billy Graham Training Center at the Cove in Black Mountain, North Carolina on Monday. And one of our guests, the grandson of Billy Graham, Will Graham, the evangelist, who's coming to town in April to do a series of revivals at Freedom Hall in Johnson City. And we'll be there on Monday taking the show to the Billy Graham Training Center, the Cove in Black Mountain, North Carolina, which for me, on a personal note, Been doing this a long time. It's been one of the highlights of my career to hang out with Will Graham and maybe Franklin Graham. We'll see, but that's going to be cool. So, hey, thanks to Doug Fritz, thanks to Greg Salyer, thanks to Kevin Mass, thanks to Ryan Presnell. Thanks for you giving us a listen and watch. Like us and share us. We thank you for that. And so, till we greet you tomorrow, again, live from Champion Chevrolet at 11 o'clock. For all of our guests, this is Tom Taylor telling you, as always, from Chick-Fil-A. And our buddy Connie Larimer, she's a sweetheart. We appreciate her, and Tim Birchfield. Until we greet you tomorrow from Champion Chevrolet, we'll tell you, as always, win or lose, be a good sport. And the $100,000 question is, what are you going to do with Jesus? We'll see you tomorrow. So long, everybody.